What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about what was missing from Ubisoft Forward. So, look, I will take responsibility for myself. I did do a video talking about what I think could have been at Ubisoft Forward. I hyped myself up. I tried to keep my expectations, at a okay level, right? I didn't want to be hugely disappointed. I thought Ubisoft Forward was okay. I didn't think it was the worst thing humanly possible. I think mainly just because of some of the stronger things they showed, but it also was nowhere near good. I would never call it a good show. So we're going to talk about what wasn't there, and in fact, over the next couple days, I'm even going to be talking about some of those things on future videos, whether it be on this channel or whether it be on my second channel. Really quickly, though, I do want to promote my Discord server. If you guys have not yet joined it, the link for it will be in the description below. We watched Ubisoft Forward there. We live reacted to it. It was a lot of fun. We do it for all of these kind of events. So again, a place to meet new people, a really, really awesome community already there. So again, link for it will be in the description below. Now, okay, I'm going to go through a list of games games/features that were not there. Firstly, I want to start with Watch Dogs multiplayer. So this was something, we just had a video a couple hours ago. I talked about the, Watch Dogs in general. What we saw was fantastic. I'm very happy with what we saw. What we didn't see, though, is a little concerning that we didn't see it, right? And now I am going to actually have a video, again, over the next coming days talking specifically about the multiplayer in that game, but just kind of alarming. Again, a game a month and a half away from releasing doesn't have, it's going to have multiplayer. They talked about that it's going to have multiplayer, and they talked that it's going to be, and talked about very, very soon, and yet here we are at Ubisoft Forward, and they didn't show anything. And so that is a little alarming. So I would say that's kind of like, this isn't a listing or a ranking or anything, but that would kind of be an honorable mention for me. One that is like that, talk about things that we didn't see with a game that's very, very close to releasing. How about Assassin's Creed Valhalla? Look, I was actually going to make a video, and now I think, it actually makes a lot of sense to possibly make a video about, this game could be in some serious trouble. Look, the game releases again in less than 2 months at this point. It got moved up, actually 2 months today, right? November 10th now, with the Series X releasing on that day. I'm excited for it. I'm getting the game day one, but with all the stuff that's gone on about this game over the last little while, okay, it's a little alarming that we didn't see anything from this. Now, we know they're going to have more Ubisoft Forwards. That's fine. We kind of all predicted, right, that this would not be the last one, so they'll have more of them. But for a game that's releasing in 2 months to not talk about it, when we know that there's some controversy, when there's some things, with people that have even worked on that game, there's been some problems with it. And, last we really saw it, if you think about it, it was mixed. It was actually filled with negativity. People enjoyed what they played. I think the general reception, I would say, now again, I don't speak for everybody, so you can speak for yourself, but I would say the general reception of what we saw from, their last time that they showed us, which was July's Ubisoft Forward, it was good. I thought it was good, but it was just a step up from Odyssey. This was not Assassin's Creed Next Gen that a lot of people were expecting. Now, if you weren't expecting that and you were expecting it just to be a step up, which honestly, that's kind of what I was expecting, you probably weren't let down. In fact, honestly, I wasn't all that much let down. The people that were very into Valhalla and saying like, oh my God, this could really be it. Look, Assassin's Creed is always an event. I get that. I got pulled into the event. But at the same time, you got to realize that games that are coming out this year, even games that are coming out next year, are not necessarily going to be full-on, made for next-gen kind of games. It's going to take a couple years. It's going to take a couple years, couple variations of games in order for us to get there. I think the next Assassin's Creed, we would be able to say, is that Assassin's Creed made for next-gen. So, I wasn't necessarily disappointed, but the reception of it was not really high. I think it was, okay, looks solid. I think it's fixing a lot of Odyssey's issues, but it's not all that much. There's not much going on there, okay? And that was the last time we saw it. And then we had more stuff coming out, right? Some leads of the team stepping down, not good. I mean, obviously if what they did was true and they took responsibility and all that stuff, I mean, yeah, fine. But in terms of the work that was put into the game, we'll have to see. I mean, it is alarming. It's absolutely alarming, the stuff that's happened over the last couple months, and then for them to not show it 2 months before this game comes out is not good. Now, going on from that does kind of get a little iffy. I saw people talk about Far Cry. Now, I never expected Far Cry 6 footage to be shown at this event. I think some people did, and I completely understand. I mean, I get why. Game comes out in, 6 months, a little bit less than 6 months. You would expect gameplay. I think just the thing with that, I won't be so critical on Far Cry, only because, well, one, the trailer we got is absolutely amazing. Now, yes, it's only a cinematic, and obviously the game could absolutely suck, but so far so good, and I really think they're kind of waiting on next gen quite a bit. I'm not saying they're waiting for like a PS5 or Xbox event in order to be there to show it. I just think that it's really something that we could see before the end of this year, that if they did another Ubisoft Forward, say in like November, we have Watch Dogs that would have been out already, we have Assassin's Creed, and that's something to think about as well. When you have Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed, even that Immortal, Phoenix Rising, those are all games coming out very, very soon. If you show Far Cry, now you got another game to add on to that, and you're showing gameplay. So, I get why they didn't do it, but I also get why people were disappointed that it wasn't there. Another game, Splinter Cell. Splinter Cell, just a no-show, right? And now this is one that I had predicted. I had said, I put my stamp on, and I said, okay, here's the things we're going to get. And I feel like I was wrong on at least 4 of the... I got the Prince of Persia remake. I didn't get Assassin's Creed. I didn't get Watch Dogs, only because I predicted multiplayer, and I said Splinter Cell. And Splinter Cell, again, this was a game that I was really hoping for. We know, I would go so far to say that we know there's a new game. I would go so far to say that just as much as I was willing to say that the Prince of Persia remake is real. Okay, I'm willing to put my stamp on that. I do think there's a new Splinter Cell. I do think it's coming out in 2021. Again, I get it. I get why you don't show it, because, again, it's coming out after February, after Far Cry. It's in their next financial quarter. They have enough stuff to deal with right now. So I get it. Scott Pilgrim maybe was that kind of game that was like, okay, we're going to give 2 games for the fans. Prince of Persia, Scott Pilgrim. We're not going to give you Splinter Cell as of yet. So, again, I get why they didn't do it, but it was pretty disappointing. I do want to give an honorable mention to the Avatar game. So I've seen people, especially in our Discord, funny enough, and on Twitter, talking about the Avatar game. I forgot this game even existed until they mentioned it. I think for fun, maybe I can make a video specifically on this game over the next coming days, maybe on my second channel. Look, the game is still real for everything that I know about it. I wouldn't mention Skull and Bones, by the way. That could, I guess, be an honorable mention, but we knew that wasn't going to be here. I never expected it. That's just a game that is going through some trouble, but I do think it's okay. But for Avatar, that's, I guess, another one where I would say that's even a step back further from Skull and Bones, where it's like we've never seen much of this at all. And with the tie with the movie, and the movie continues to get pushed with their 15 sequels for that thing. So I don't know. I wouldn't call it myself a disappointment, because I truly don't care. I'm not even a fan of the movie, of that Avatar movie. The Last Airbender I am, but just not the James Cameron film. So I will give it the time of day, absolutely, when it gets shown. I'm not going to just like shun it. I would absolutely give it a chance. I'd absolutely buy it day one, if it proves itself. But to me, not a disappointment, but I had seen people. I have to give it to my community, too, the people that have said about this Avatar game, so I have to say that. So, look, there were, if you put even half of the stuff I just talked about into Ubisoft Forward with the strong things that they had in it, I think you could have had a killer show. Honestly, more of a show that I predicted than the show we got. I think that overall, the 5 things I predicted, if that happened, and then they threw in some of the fluff that they had, and they have, Immortal and all that stuff, right? I think that, and maybe that was the one that I said too, so maybe I got that one right. But I think they would have had overall a really, really solid show, and yet here we are, and it was, I would say okay. It was maybe, like a 4 out of 10 max. So that's my thoughts on it. Let me know in the comments below, though, guys. What do you think? Did you think this thing was a bust? What were some of the announcements that you thought were missing? Do you agree with mine? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. And like I said, I'm going to be continuing the coverage of Ubisoft Forward. We're going to be talking about some of the games that were missing there in individual videos over the next couple days. And I hope to see you guys there.